guy just redid the interior. What's up? We gotta be super careful with this one.
Yeah, I know, right?
Alright, so I'll back it out. Let me get seat covers. Can you grab a seat cover?
Yes.
2 seat covers. How are you, brother? Good? What's going on? Yes.
And
okay.
I'm bringing you boxes for the F40 LM.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So we might. Okay, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Because the boxes. Oh, he has seat covers. Okay.
What do you want to do with the boxes?
Wow. Man, he did a beautiful job. That is
Wow,
crazy.
look at the back. I've never seen that before.
I'm all for original interior, but that is sick.
Oh, I didn't realize
I'm not even gonna lie. That is freaking stunning.
That is really cool.
So we're gonna be extra careful. You know what? There's covers.
Okay.
That's why he's so paranoid.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with me getting in. I said, "Well, you drive it up." He says, "Just be very." He says, "When you get over there, somebody else is going to take it off, right?" He just knows I don't have any mobility. He's hard scared of my feet hitting something.
Okay, we are in. I'm not touching anything else in this car. Oh, wait.
John, do you have a forklift here?
No, we don't. Why, for the parts?
Yeah, I
F40
don't know how
parts?
heavy they are, but I don't even know. I asked him
Okay.
for pictures, but he didn't have anything. Great.
Low on gas.
Alright, I think off this last one.
Okay. This is an Orange 6.0 we've had the pleasure of selling probably 3 or 4 times now. And look at the work that Kenneth Michaels did. This is black Alcantara.
That is fancy.
The stitching is still like factory. I actually asked him to respect that, at least. Orange stitching, orange seat backs in leather that are just, I mean, it's so cool. The bottom of the orange dash matches the seat backs. Again, it's not something that Curated would normally approve, but I think Kenneth Michaels did such a beautiful job. And at the end of the day, the new owner is going to appreciate this and enjoy it that much more. And listen, that sort of is what collecting is about at the end of the day.
He did the headliner too, right?
He did the headliner in Alcantara too, which I think is really pretty. So yeah, Hooper is going to jump on this shortly, and I'm sure he'll give you a great tour of what it's like to tune one of these. I definitely think I should ask Dennis, good friend and good client. This is here just in storage this week. We sold this car to him a year ago. I have not driven a Senna yet. I think I just parked this car. So I'm going to ask him to basically, let's take it out, take you guys for a ride, because I'd like to experience something new.
We don't even have to ask him. You know he doesn't care.
I know he
You
doesn't
know he's
care.
okay.
I'm going to ask him regardless.
So one of our friends just came back from Gumball in a very funny car and just gotta show it to you.
No, go Russia. This one is going to ship back to New York.
Oh, dude, this is hilarious.
John, have you ever driven one of these?
Oh my God, it's the best.
It's the
car.
best Lambo.
It's like a Ferrari. It's like a baby Carrera GT. It's the only Ferrari with a V10. This is the best Ferrari ever made.
Pure racing bred technology.
I would take this over any model.
Dude, they did the calipers.
And the headrests are the best.
Oh my God.
So pretty.
Is this the car we've been waiting for like
like
7 months?
Forever. Literally forever. Out of Japan, I think 3,000 miles.
Wow, the interior is cool.
It's very cool.
Is that right, factory interior?
Yeah. So early SV had those small wheels. So these should be 17 in the front, 18 in the rear. It had the funny rear wing, like more square.
Oh yeah.
And what else? Euro cars all had Alcantara interior with these sort of like, looks like plastic, but it's like a type of like plastic Kevlar. Center console is the same. There was no carbon on the center, no carbon here. So almost like a stripped down sport version of the Diablo was the concept.
What do you think, Andina?
Looks fantastic.
You like it?
Yeah. Love the stitches and the orange details, no?
He's gonna love it.
I love the interior.
Sick. Sick. Oh, the brakes are in nice condition. The wiper's fucked up. It got bent somehow. Look at that.
Oh shit.
Yep. Thank God it didn't crack the glass. There's a little nick here where you've got to fix.
You can't get Diablo winches anymore, right?
So you know what? We found one recently, but they're like $7,000-8,000.
That's okay, whatever.
So
It is what it is.
it is what it is. But nice car. Just needs an exhaust. This wing should be matte black too, satin black, to match the tail lights.
Bro, we know that you were in North Carolina. Jesus.
We were making a joke about Hooper. We were making
Hooper,
My
show
boy told me, he'd been down here one time, he said, you ought to go down to Miami, Florida. They got them things every damn where.
Everybody here's a little crazy today. These guys are, I think they had too much coffee, but Hooper's about to go down on the 6.0 on the VT here, see why it has a check engine light, see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. And there's some cool things that these cars did when you plug the computer in. Hey, can you show me how to do the thing where the pedal goes down and the throttle body's open? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Carter sweep.
That, the Carter sweep. Tell us about Carter switches.
It's a Carter motor.
Carter motor, there you go, that's what I meant.
It's basically just a fast idle device.
Oh, okay.
So when the car is cold, it's a little motor with a rod that pushes out and opens the throttles up to a certain point. There's a setting for it, but what it does, it just gives you fast idle. In the early Diablos, it was done with like an auxiliary air valve on each side. The last series of Diablos used a Carter motor. Well, the first thing I would do is pop these throttle linkages off, and then I would check on the bell crank here to see that the space here between that roller and here is 5.5 millimeters. You know, if you don't have something that's 5.5 millimeters, you go and find something that's 5.5 millimeters, right? And then when they're both set at that as your base, that's your base setting for your throttle plates. Try and put your throttle rods back on. Make sure that they don't move the linkage when you're putting it on. If they do, you need to loosen the pinch bolt here. Never adjusting the length of the rod, but loosening the pinch bolt on either side until you can pop the rod back on the ball here without any kind of movement. Tighten your pinch bolt back up. When you're checking your Carter motor, you're checking when the car's hot and the Carter motor rod is pulled all the way back. You want the air gap between that rod and this little paddle to be between 6 and 8 millimeters. And if it's not, there's a pinch bolt on that as well. The way I like to do it is I'll just hold the throttle open. This is key on, engine off. I'll hold the throttle linkage all the way open so it's vertical, so I can get a wrench on it. Loosen it up, move the paddle, check it, make sure it's right. I'll open back up again, and then I'll tighten it. Tight. And then pull it back and fire it up. And I watch all my values, make sure everything's good, and then I want to make sure that my manifold pressure is, I want the idle 1150, and I want the map pressure to be within 20 millimeters of each other. So to get that fine tuning done, you would loosen the jam nut on the bypass screw, idle bypass screw, both sides. When it's running, watch the manifold pressure and adjust each one of these accordingly until you obtain the proper map pressure, maintaining the idle speed you want. And then when you have it, then you carefully tighten back up your jam nuts. And also be careful when you tighten those up, sometimes the bypass screw will turn with it and it'll throw off what you just did. And then you fire it up, run it, get it hot, watch it go through a self-learn. And now, and when I'm done, I like to see JJ go out and raise hell.
Make sure it's working right.
So the job's not done until JJ says it's done.
Let's go.
It's not good till JJ says it's
Let's
good.
go. And what do you think? It probably, that issue is because someone's touched the gas pedal while it's learning?
Well, if you turn the key on when the car's off, you'll see the carburetor motor do a sweep. And I'll show you. Watch this throttle linkage. Yeah, so it's pushed out, so it's ready to start up. Now, when you cut it off, that's when it'll do a three
Sweep.
cycles sweep. Now, if somebody cuts it off, and when the key's off, it's doing it on its own. It's in the program. If you obstruct that in any way, whether, say, for example, you put your foot on the gas, whether it be intentionally or accidentally, you could get an error code. Same as when you first turn the car on. If you get in there and push the key now, while it's doing that, you'll get a check engine light. And also, like once you turn the car off and the car is doing a sweep, if you turn that battery knob off, it's gonna stop wherever it is, and that's its new zero. And it's gonna get weird until it's, maybe you can get lucky and it'll go through a self-learn cycle and get that out of its own, but maybe not.
And that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. All right, so you ready?
Let me, let's see. I'll put your hand line
Slowly. get
Carefully.
into this fresh interior. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now I'm not going to touch the gas pedal. It's already done and learned, so I don't need to worry about, right?
Sounds good.
For more information on how to fix your Diablo today, contact service at wearecurated.com.
That's quick, not gonna lie.
Sounds good.
Running beautiful, no engine light. Idle sounds great. I have no fucking clue what he was just talking about the Carter valve, but I know he knows what he's doing. So definitely these cars are in good hands. The car's running beautiful. Time for delivery. Running awesome. It actually pulled really hard. Yes.
A little surprise for this week's video. I didn't even realize this car was coming, but apparently we have a Diablo that just showed up. Let's check it out.
Steven, what car is this?
I think it's a Lamborghini.
What kind of Lamborghini?
I think it's a Mopar Chrysler.
Oh, Chrysler.
I think it's a Chrysler. Actually, I'm
Ah.
sorry, it's a Nissan. It's got a 300ZX headlights.
Oh.
It is a Lamborghini Diablo Millennium Edition Roadster, car number 9, believed to be original owner car. They made 20 of these cars.
Sweet.
A shameless plug for Mac College. You never know who you're going to meet. A buddy of mine I met at the Sheds. If you know Mac College, you know about the Sheds. We hit it off, started networking and chatting back and forth. Now he manages a collection of cars in Monterey, California. He says, "Hey, I got this Diablo. Are you looking for a Diablo?" I said, "Just send me photos and VINs," and ended up putting it together. So
Sick.
college buddies.
It's all about the networking. And this car is not titanium, right? It's a slightly different color.
Slightly different color.
Looks the same. Wow, look at the interior.
99 only. Well, 99 that then went later to be used in the 6.0s.
So you're rolling?
Yeah, I can roll it. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, start it.
Sounds healthy.
Okay. Give it more, give it more.
Unloading these cars is always an
Now keep it
adventure.
straight.
Those are extremely original tires. Look at them. They're from 03. Pretty clean, pretty clean.
Nice, no airbag light on.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
rare.
fuck.
Windshield wipers work. This is a little rough, but
Yeah, I mean,
pretty
they all do
normal.
that.
Yeah, they always do that.
They always do that. It's got the owner's manual too.
Yeah. It's all in there.
Throttle response is good.
Sounds good. Exhaust sounds good, even though it's stock. Carbon fiber roof.
Yeah, of course. It's got all the original stickers too.
Yeah, it does. Wow. They can see that.
Just glad it doesn't have an airbag light on. Original radio.
Feels strong. Pretty good. About average.
Bring it around.
We're going to have to do a Hooper tune on it real quick.
Oh yeah. Gotta figure out what the Hooper tune is.
He won't tell us. It's a secret.
Car's tight.
No pushing sounds.
No drivetrain rattle really.
Diablo.
Feels good.
Sounds good. I like. See if you can figure it out.
I'm not used to these new pieces of technology. When I was trying to start the SF90, I don't know if you remember that, I started it like 10 times, and I wasn't thinking that was hybrid. So I was like, this car doesn't start. I actually called the Ferrari dealer, and no, it was running. It was just in hybrid mode.
It must have been.
This is not
cracking up.
hybrid. This is essentially, I think this is like the embodiment of a modern day F40, in my opinion. Let's see. Okay, so I have the key holder.
I think we have to just say, Senna, please start.
All right. Here we go. There we go. Start button there. Very nice. I'm assuming we push the, there we go. We have screens and backup cameras and all these. Right? Parking brake. Okay. Got it. There we go. Not that hard. Only thing we're gonna have to figure out is how to raise it. It's beeping at me. Let's see. And we so this is not our car. We actually had this. We sold this to one of my favorite clients, one of our dear friends. We don't sell him too many cars. We've done a lot of restoration and service work for him. But Dennis with F50001, and he is an incredibly passionate guy. He absolutely loves this car. He was looking for a Senna, and this is a really special Senna. This is like almost a 1.4 sticker. It's a raw carbon. Wow, this is just beeping at me everywhere. This is a raw carbon body, full carbon body Senna. It's insane in person. All the fins and grills and scoops. But what I love about the Senna is it's rare. It is not hybrid. It is all motor. I think they made 500 for the world, or a little bit less than 500 cars for the world. Actually, are they numbered? I don't know if they're numbered. It should be right. What's this here?
Somewhere.
Maybe not.
Store?
Here we go. Yeah, 500. So this is car 300 and something. So they're numbered cars. And you know what? When they first came out, people hated them. They thought they looked so silly and stupid. But I will tell you, I think the design is just insane.
It's grown on me.
It
It's
is
pretty
definitely function over form. This is made to be a race car, and I'm actually looking how to raise it. So, hold on. I think we have to go into this screen. What does this do? That's Windows. Much like a Countach, you get a whole 3 inches. I love it. It already reminds me of something I'm used to driving.
So I'll help you out with some of the things.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So, Albert, so, what is that? No, that's radio. Nice sound system, actually. That's pretty good. Not bad. Let's try to put on some 80s music to match the... I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Let's see what we got. Sort of tire pressure here, variable drift control. We're not gonna do that. You go like that.
Variable drift control. That's hilarious.
Vehicle. Okay. Auto. No, that's AC.
All right, so I'm gonna help you.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a hint. It's like every other McLaren.
How many new McLarens do I drive? Like this? I don't know.
It's on a stock.
It's on a stock. That's turn signal. Do I go like that? Cruise. Oh no, that's cruise control. Ah, here. Ride height normal. Move stock up to race. There. Look at us. Technology. I'm gonna put on my seatbelt. I've got the car raised. This is my first drive in a Senna, and obviously named after Ayrton Senna, one of the most important race car drivers. I gotta put it back in reverse. One of the most important race car drivers of our time. I was a young chap when I followed Senna, and I'll never forget when he crashed that day. I actually cried. I was a huge Senna fan, partially because he was such a character. I mean, he had this badass attitude in addition to his incredible driving skills. You know, he would bring up some controversial subjects. He didn't take shit from anyone. I sort of loved that as a young guy. And just, dude, he was like the quintessential, good-looking guy, Brazilian, badass, incredible driver. And we are now gonna lower this. Let's see, I'm gonna press this again and lower. Vehicle lowering. Here we go. No, it won't let me go over 20 miles per hour.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on. That is fucking weird. there's actually no there's no glove compartment either. There's no trunk, glove compartment, no, nothing. Yeah, it's just you and you in the car. Let's see.
Brakes work. Wow.
That's very violent. That is pretty cool.
That was awesome traction control.
That is.
It just kept the car perfectly planted.
Wow. That is. You know what? I'm not crazy about the sound.
No.
But the power is just insane. But it feels like it's very like it's something you could drive every day. You know,
Definitely.
I mean, it's definitely, you hear everything. It reminds me, the tub itself reminds me of a Carrera GT. It's very, like, you feel everything, you hear everything. It's definitely a race car in that sense. Handles insane, power's insane. It needs an exhaust or something. It needs something. I don't know. Does this open? Does it have that? I don't know if it has a.
Oh, we forgot to turn, after we turned the car off and back on again, we didn't do anything.
So what do we?
Active, sport. And suppose if we do that, so now you're in manual. Didn't seem to get any louder though. You can't drive on the street though, bro.
What?
You can't drive this thing
You
on the
can't drive
street.
this. No, this is a track car. That's what it was made for. So unfortunately, we are limited here. But again, I'm not taking Dennis's Senna on a track
No.
either. I'm not that guy.
I don't think we're good enough
I
for
am
the
not that guy.
high downforce.
No.
You know, I really want to go in a car with someone else driving that has a lot of downforce to experience what it's like.
Yeah, right.
I've never done it.
Oh wow, there you go. Yeah, that's a different car, all right.
Turned on.
Wow, what a car. Wow. That is pretty insane. You feel it's not really slide because it's so planted. It feels so wide, but you definitely see there's wheel spin.
Yeah.
And the sound is just, that sound is insane. But man, it is rigid. It is like you feel every little bump. And the steering is, I mean, it feels like a shifter cart almost. Like if you're going around a track. That is just so wild. And it's pretty cool because you really get to see, I mean, with this glass here and with the way the car is set up, you really have almost no blind spots forward. And you get to see everything, and it's almost like you get to see the line of the road, which is so fucking cool. Wow. This is wild. Wild. I really... It's beeping. Not sure why it beeped, but... So special. And you know what's funny? The seats are actually comfortable.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, for race buckets, I would have never thought. You definitely have to drive the car and race, though. Like, it was a little too boring. Wow, the brakes are just...
I think how flat it corners is what's
Yes,
impressive
there's
to me.
no roll.
There's no roll at all
There's
whatsoever.
no roll.
And then yeah, it's just really, really stiff. The chassis
I'm
is
used to
not
the no
moving.
roll because of like Diablos and stuff. They have like barely any roll.
Yeah, very
This
little.
is just like,
But this is planted.
this is so planted. There is no roll. I wonder what people think when they see this.
I don't know. It's like a
like,
Batmobile or something.
It's so insane looking.
It's definitely one of the most
And it's really, I
outrageous
don't know
cars.
if the DNA, like I don't really see too much design language in the car.
No.
Because it doesn't scream McLaren to me. It just screams Batmobile insanity.
Yeah. You know what I'm curious about? There's Was all those always the issues with build quality in McLaren?
No, not at all on this. This is so solid. I mean, this feels like it's carved out of stone or carbon fiber. Really just... I have to say, I can't find really any issues with this car. I wish it was a touch louder. In the race mode, it is loud.
How much does the car cost?
It's like $1.3 million, $1.4 million. Well, this was MSRP 1.4. So, you know, I think today they're selling around MSRP, maybe a touch back. At one point, they got cheap, and I think now people have realized just how special they are.
I think this spec in particular is a little more impressive than on some of the other ones I've seen, just 'cause it's all carbon, and like the sheer amount of carbon is, I mean, everywhere you look is carbon, and it's all beautiful and looks really cool.
I mean, literally everywhere is carbon. There's not a part of the car.
The whole car.
And when you see the outside too, it just... I think cars like this are extra special because I think this is the end of hypercars. I mean, everything's going to hybrid now. Everything's going to, you know, just more, you know, less race, more luxury.
Yeah.
And this is the end of... Wow. But actually very quite comfortable for what it is. Like, one of my favorite cars in the world is the GT3 RS, like the 3.8 liter, the 2011 car, and it's a race car for the street. But there are times where you're like, okay, this is not that comfortable between the seat and the
Your
clutch
seats
pedal.
are not comfortable.
You know? So this is actually, I feel like I could drive this every day, but also it's a race car.
And Dennis does drive it.
And Dennis
every
does
day.
drive it every day. And
I've
he
actually
also
never
drives
met-
race cars. He
Yeah.
also drives race cars. So this is great.
We have to give props to Dennis because A, he shares his cars with everybody and all his friends, and B, I don't think I know anybody who drives an F50 and a Senna basically every day, all the time.
Wow, second gear is very cool. It just pulls and pulls and pulls.
And I'm sure it never stops.
It just, this feels like it does not stop. It almost feels like what we're doing right now is a total waste.
It is.
Because it's so much car. It can do so much. I don't own it, so I'm not going to put it to those boundaries.
We're
but
doing it purely for
it's
content.
a freaking waste. But good content, nonetheless. And exciting that we did get to sell this car. I feel like one day I'm going to be talking to my kids about, yeah, back in the day I sold a full carbon body Senna. Because if you think, like, historically, like, cars that were underappreciated when they first came out have more appreciation now, the F50, and it's funny that Dennis owns an F50 and owns this. To me, this more embodies, you know, it sort of embodies the modern day F40 and F50 together.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? The drivetrain, probably because it is a V8, does sound a little like an F40 around town. It has that same sort of sound. Anyways, guys, well, thank you for joining us on our drive of one of the baddest modern cars ever made, the McLaren Senna, 1 of 500, no hybrid, pure race car, named after the most legendary driver. Don't forget to like, please. We love your comments. We thank you so much for your comments on the last video about our new format. We'll continue to do some great content. And if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. We have a ton of great stuff coming. We have a very cool video. We're gonna do the final, we're gonna do a long test drive on the highway with Stradman's Countach. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks again.